Carla Nicole, Wisdom Coach. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. So, this evening, we are going to get started talking about the pros and the cons of sex toys. So, we're going to have some fun this evening. We're going to talk and we're going to be open. I am at the end going to open it up for people to ask questions or have any concerns. But I want to talk about sex toys because one of my clients has asked that I talk and discuss about the pros and the cons to sex toys. What are they good for? Are they good for everybody? Do they work? Do they actually have sex um, be better, last longer, more enjoyable? And also, we're going to talk about, I mean, can you find yourself addicted to sex toys? Can sex toys, I guess, suppress you sexually? Can you be like, okay, I have my toy, so I don't really need a mate or a woman or a man. I need my toy. I need that. So, can we get to the point where we're so addicted to our toys that we're just not truly keeping them in a perspective of where they need to be? So, good evening. It's Carla Nicole. I'm so glad you're here. So, let's get started. So, I want to talk first about sex toys. So, what are sex toys, right? Well, there's so many variations of different toys, different sex toys of all types. Um, Let me just say personally, I have retired my sex toys. It's been about, I don't know, maybe a good 16, 17 years now. I just have not used toys anymore for me personally. However, I did have a phase in my life where I call it my playgirl years, and I used sex toys all the time, with my partner or alone. So there was different reasons why I use them, and I'm going to share and be very open and upfront about what I use them for and why I use them. And then I want to share with you, some of the things we have to be mindful of when we are using sex toys, and how sometimes we can find ourselves addicted more to the toy than we are to the actual sexual act. And why is that? Okay, so we're going to talk about that as well. So let's start off with, what are sex toys? So, sex toys are instruments, okay, if you will. They are different types of variations. There's bullets, there's all kinds of different things. But for women, we have bullets, very well known bullets, dildos, jackrabbits, all kinds of various different types of sex toys that we use and can use um, to really truly enhance our sexual life. And let me just say that I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but I am well known for my acronym called SOLO, SOLO, which is Shine on Loving Oneself. But also, solo can stand for solo pleasure. So that means solo pleasing, meaning masturbation. But that's just my little classy way of describing masturbation. So if I say solo pleasure, that means you one on one are sharing yourself with yourself and this toy of whatever your choice is. So there are different types of things you can use, all kinds of different things. Some people use nipple clamps. Like I say, some people are into BDSM. They use all types of whips, chains, bondages. Some people are into just different types of lubricants. That goes into the toy family, although it's not an actual toy itself, but it can be used for enhancement for sex. So I wanted to talk about that as well. So here's the thing, okay? So understand what I said originally. I said sex toys are instruments to use. when you are with your partner or when you are solo pleasing. So, with that said, it is to be used to your own advantage. Now, my personal favorite when I was using the sex toys, I had a dildo of my choice that happened to be a certain, length that I preferred. And I liked it because it was not battery operated. Now, many will dispute with me that they like the battery operation because they like the vibration, they like the different rotation, they like all the different, um, you know, uh, different variations you can have as far as vaginal stimulation. But for the bullet per se, the bullet is more designated for the clitoral stimulation versus the vaginal stimulation. So it just depends on what are open to or on, or personally are into. There are vaginal stimulators and then there's clitoral stimulators, and there's some that do both at the same time. So again, there's all kind, and I know the jackrabbit is known to do both at the same time. So again, this is all very important to understand. And if you have not been a part of or have ever went to a fun party, you are even more exposed to some of the most unbelievable man-made units and instruments you can use to really enjoy your sexual life. So I'm just here to tell you that this, okay, is something that you may want to kind of get to know or try to find out about, because you can get into fun parties and find out, oh my God, there's some things I didn't know were available to me. Even if you're in a relationship or you're not, there may be some things that you're unaware of that you could be using while you are wanting to climax or ejaculate, depending on you. Also, gentlemen, I'm not going to leave you out. There are also toys for you. There is all kinds of things. There's rings that you can place on yourself or your lady can place around your tip. There's also some type of various different stimulators that we can use for our men that can actually stimulate the prostate. So there's a lot of different, and again, these are a lot of different instruments you can use while you are either having sex itself or if you're just having a sexual engagement with someone else. So again, when you try to do, now, I don't know if you gentlemen are aware or not, but there are rings that can go around the actual penis itself, and it can vibrate for you as well. So again, you are not left out I'm telling you, in the whole exposure of the sex toys. There are many for men as well as women. So I just want to open that up. If you guys are not aware of that, yes, there are all kinds of toys for you men as well. And it can be for you for your solo pleasure, which is, like I said, you're touching yourself, or it could be wonderful for you and your partner to use to enhance your sexual engagement. Again, these are all opportunities. These are all great things to have in your arsenal if that's something you're into. And if there's something your partner's into and open to as well, that's very, very important. If they're not, then fine. Then you just use it for your own personal use. But again, there are different types of stimulators for men that can also enhance you sexually, can also bring the joy to you, because men, hey, you have needs and wants as well. So I wanted to talk about that because I wanted you guys to just know, okay, what are the toys? What do I have an opportunity to use? And a lot of the times they're called penis rings that wrap around the man's scrotum. And while the woman is, riding you or you're inside of her, the actual end of it has like a vibratory, like a stimulator. And that actually stimulates right under the missing 3 inches under the scrotum towards the anus, where I talk about all the time, that can stimulate you to have a even more powerful volcanic eruption, if you will. So those stimulate for men. So again, if you have not went to fun parties or you have not went to adult stores, you may want to check them out, because you men are not left out in the world of sex toys. You're just not left out. They include you as well. So you can have some pretty awesome, joyful things as well to enjoy. Okay. So don't miss out on that. I wanted men to understand that you're not left out here. You guys are also included. And here's another thing that I think is important. When you are having your sexual experience while using sex toys, either by yourself or with a partner, you can find yourself very easily addicted to them. Why in the world would we be addicted, right? Well, we can get addicted to them because some of them can increase orgasm, because they increase orgasm because they tap in on the zones, the erogenous zones, usually more frequently, like vibratory stimulation, and that increases your ability to actually have a climax. So with that said, with these vibrators and these stimulators and all kinds of different units that I was talking about earlier, you can actually find yourself addicted to them as much as you can become addicted to porn. So I want to always tell people that everything is mind over matter. So if you are finding yourself desiring to only focus on that toy more than you want to focus on your partner, you want to take a diet off of it. Just stop, discontinue it for a while, because you're starting to develop an addiction to it. And having an addiction to any type of, I don't care what it is, any type of vice for any matter, if you're finding yourself hard to pull away from something, then you want to think about ways to now go back to desiring human touch. Let me put this on the table and make this a disclaimer. You cannot, I'm going to say this again, you cannot replace human touch with sex toys. It's just not a good idea. The human touch, sexual engagement with your partner, with who you're with, is vitally important. Women need semen. Gentlemen, you need the woman's vaginal secretions. You need it just like women need it. So it's very important that you don't sacrifice, okay, human touch because of the sexual toys. You don't want to do that. But now, if you want to include them in your sex life, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you have an open partner, then you can actually increase, ways of having more orgasms. You can also increase ways of having more pleasure. You can also increase ways to improve sexual engagement with each other. So again, when you sit back and you look, you're like, man, I didn't realize I could have so much joy. Well, you can. You just have to sit back and realize that you just cannot replace your partner with the toys you're choosing to use. So be mindful of that. Also, I want to talk about how important it is that you realize that the sex toy industry doesn't really give a lot of details about how vibrators and things of that nature with extensive use can cause soreness vaginally. Ladies, this is for you. When you are using vibrators, bullets, and you're using them on a pretty frequent basis, you can find yourself sore very easily. You can become swollen. You can become sore to the touch. And I always say, please be mindful with the frequency you're using on the vibrator around the clitoris area, because that's a very delicate area on the vagina, is the clitoris. So if you're going to be mindful, or if you're going to be using your bullet, be mindful that you can develop a soreness if you're not being mindful of how frequently you're using them or how high the power is that you're placing on your clitoris. You have to understand that, yes, the toys are awesome. Yes, the toys can really enhance your sexual orgasms, but understand the any type of toy you're using that is a machine, so it doesn't understand that it could be too much and inflicting pain on you, to where you're increasing soreness. So you want to be mindful of that. Also, please be mindful of the cleaning of your sex toys. This applies to both men and women. When you are finished with your sex toys, there are cleansers that you can use to make sure that you don't get yourself infected from the toy, from different bacterias. Because if you don't clean the unit, I don't care if it's the bullet, I don't care if it's a dildo, I don't care if it's a jackrabbit, I don't care if it's a penis ring, whatever you're using, you want to make sure that you are being clean with the toys you're using, because it's not good to use them and then, sit them down and then go on about your way and then use that same toy inside yourself again. Especially ladies, all of our yoni care is on the inside of us. So if we put a toy, a dildo, or a bullet inside of us vaginally without cleaning it properly, we can find ourselves with UTIs, all kinds of bladder infections, all kinds of things that we don't want to even have to deal with. So there is proper cleaning that needs to take place before you even begin to use them on a full-time basis, and make sure that you have that tactic down before you even start purchasing them, and speak to different people that are actually using toys, or people, the toy experts. They will tell you how to properly clean your units, and each unit is different. So you want to make sure of that as well, because you don't want to find yourself itching and burning from your toy and then finding yourself accusing your partner and it's not them. It's actually the toy cleansing process you're not doing properly. And so these are things that are important as well. So again, I wanted to come on here, give you some insight, give you some information about how important it is to, understand the pros and cons of toys. Like I said, the pros, hey, you can enhance your sex life. You can enjoy them. You can have fun with them. The cons, you can get sore. You can get addicted to them. So again, you have to be mindful of what you're doing when you are using the sex toys. Okay, so make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. This is the Carla Nicole Wisdom channel. Not only subscribe, but hit the bell at the bottom so you can make sure you know when I go live again. I do talk a lot about sexual education. I talk about sex life, how to improve it, how to improve intimacy, how to improve relationships. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. And listen, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Make sure if you have any questions or concerns to call me. You are free to do that at 844-5-WISDOM, extension 0. I also happen to be a distributor for Libido Life, which is a herbal tincture for men to enhance their libido for their sexual health and their penile care. So please make a note of that. If you're finding yourself not to have the stamina you used to, or you're not getting as firm as you used to, or you would just like to have more firmness through the day, or you want to have more erections, then please don't hesitate to call me. I'm Carla Nicole. And like I said, call me at 844-5-WISDOM, and I will give you all the information you need to become definitely a product owner of Libido Life. Okay? I want to thank everybody for stopping by. It's Carla Nicole. I'm signing off. Best kept. Have a great day, guys. Bye.